folks, it is time for the latest Freedom Fighter Tactical Status of Business and Inventory Update. Let's get started right now. Hey folks, Todd at Freedom Fighter Tactical. Welcome to the channel. We have been the world's leading Benelli M4 parts and accessories outfit here in Southern California for since 2008. So, 16 going on 17 years. I think we've had over 150,000 orders, over 100,000 customers in that time. Thank you all for being a part of that. It's just been a great business. I love what I do. I love serving you guys. Of course, you can contact me anytime you'd like. The phone number's on the website. You can either text or call me there. You can email me through the contact page on the website, or you could use the little chat feature on the website to communicate with me. All of it goes to my cell phone. So you can pick one of your favorite ways of contacting me, and we can communicate that way. It's very easy. I'm accessible 365 days a year. Love helping you guys get your M4 set up. And what have we got here? It is, the 7th of November, 2 days after the election. Thank goodness Donald Trump won. I've loved Donald Trump since the 80s. I've always admired him, read all his books. My grandmother loved him. She actually is the one who kind of, I noticed him because she read his books, and she liked him and admired him. My grandmother was into real estate, so she really was fond of him. But what a great day for our country. And we've got a lot of rocky road ahead of us. These people are full of games and tricks and shenanigans. So, you want to be vigilant. You don't want to, I feel like there's this calm after the storm here where, I know there's a little bit of marching going on in Chicago that's obviously orchestrated professionally, but, we still have Inauguration Day. We still have, we got to get through January. A lot could happen between now and the end of January. So, and then we're going to have 4 years of shenanigans, and we just don't know what's going to happen with these people. So, and what they're going to do and what they're going to try to pull. We have to worry about the supply lines, the electric grid. There's everything. You just got to worry about everything. So it's always good just to go ahead and be prepared. Have your guns ready, have your ammo ready, have your food ready, have your water ready, have a plan in place. I know I'm speaking to the choir here. Most of you people out there in the Freedom Fighter Tactical family are going to have all this, but don't sit back and think that things are just on easy street all of a sudden. Hopefully we get a relaxation of gun laws out of the new administration. We've talked for years about nationwide concealed carry. We've talked for years about, chopping back the ATF, getting rid of the Gun Control Act, all sorts of things. But probably not going to happen, a lot of this stuff. It just never seems to. And you know what? If they give us everything we want, then they don't have anything to run on in the future. There's no hope. I'm still hoping for daylight savings time to be eradicated, destroyed, thrown away, forgotten about. I'd almost vote for anybody if they simply said that on day one they're going to get rid of daylight savings time. So I hate daylight savings time. So anyway, you guys have still responded. You guys are still building your guns. I know we're only 2 days after the election, but I figured with the Trump win, we would see less pressure on gun parts, and overall we might actually see that to some degree. But I've actually been surprised at the orders coming in post-Trump victory. So people are still building and getting ready for what's next, and I think that's always important to do. No matter what's going on, folks, always have your water, always have your ammo, always have your guns the way you want them, always have your plan in place just in case something goes awry. What's going on here at Freedom Fighter Tactical? Regarding the pressure on the part, same pressures. Magazine tubes are under constant stress. I've got titanium and steel in both black and NP3 right now. NP3 getting low. They're all three getting low, but the NP3 and the titanium are the ones that tend to be the lowest. And those two are the ones that tend to be the hardest to replenish because of the time involved in putting those things together. Oversized bolt releases are getting low. Recoil tubes getting low, collapsible stocks getting low, all the typical things. If you are wanting any of this stuff, you just need to pick it up now. In the last video, I talked about how, 922R has kind of become a thing in the discussion groups online all of a sudden. And anybody who puts forth any effort in trying to understand the law or showing interest in following the law. They're constantly swarmed by 922R trolls who are telling them, you know, they're dumb, it's stupid, you don't have to follow it, it's only an import law, no one's ever prosecuted. You know, guys like Todd at Freedom Fighter just try to scare you into buying parts. You know, none of this is true, folks. None of it's true, okay? It isn't just an import law. I've never tried to scare anyone into buying parts. I've always said that the odds are high that there would never be a prosecution of you for a 922R violation unless you're already in trouble for something else. There's not 922R agents at all the ranges and flying around in helicopters, and it's just not one of those things that tends to be a big deal as far as enforcement goes, but it is in fact a violation of the Gun Control Act. It is in fact a felony. It does carry fines and potential imprisonment. It does, you know, if you were prosecuted on it and a prosecution was successful, you'd lose your ability to own guns. It's just one of those things that I've always said, you know, the cost of an attorney, if you had any issues about 922R and you had to go hire an attorney to handle the situation for you, the first hour an attorney's share is going to be at least $500. And you can have 922R disposed of on the M4 for $500. So it's just one of those things that it just kind of makes sense. Yes, by talking about it, I do sell parts because people do want to follow the law. There's nothing wrong with that. The other thing too that people out there, the trolls, tend to not really think about is that it's the essence of business to share with a potential customer what problem that you are there to help solve. And it's their position then to evaluate what you're telling them, and does it have merit, does it have value, you know, are you providing value, is it something they want to do? For instance, if you go to a Valvoline and have the oil change, they're going to inspect, you know, 15 or 18 points in your car, your windshield wipers, all your fluids. They're going to check a number of things, and a few of those things are going to fix for you for free. They'll put air in your tires for free. They'll maybe top off your washer fluid for free. I mean, that's just water. But there's going to be a few items in there that cost money if you want to have them fixed. And that's the essence of business. Just about every business operates on some sort of, hey, you have a problem, we have a solution kind of a thing. And with the gun, there definitely is a problem. You know, to build it in violation of 922R is a potential felony. And it's my job to inform people that this exists, and you can buy the parts if you want to, or don't if you don't want to. Another thing too that the trolls don't seem to really realize is I'm a member of the California State Bar, and you know, I had to make a decision years ago. Is it ethical to not say a word about 922R and sell people gun parts that put them in violation of 922R? I don't think that's ethical for anybody to do, but particularly somebody who's a member of the California State Bar. You know, think what you want about attorneys, but a lot of us are ethical. A lot of us want to follow the rules. Whether we like the rules or not, it's a whole nother discussion. But, you know, we want to keep our nose clean. We want to do, you know, what we should do in order to function without any sort of concerns. And I find it terribly unethical to not inform my customer base that there is at least this issue on the table. And after that, you do what you want to do. I don't care. I just simply don't care. But a lot of the forum and discussion, you know, room trolls they really do care. And I think that this is about, they want other people to do what they're doing. They don't want to spend the money on it. They don't want you to spend the money on it. They want to be in good company. They want to feel good about breaking the law. I'm actually kind of surprised at some of the people that actually talk about this online, especially in places like Facebook where, you know, presumably you're using your real name and you're saying things like F the government and, you know, screw 922R. I mean, you know, folks, that stuff gets noticed, whether you realize or not. You all think that because you're online and you've got a screen name or you've got you're on Facebook or something, that you've got some sort of cloak of invisibility. Trust me, folks, that stuff gets noticed. So it's probably only a matter of time before somebody really does get charged with a 922R. People say, well, you know, no one's ever been charged. One, no one knows that. I mean, except for somebody out there who's been charged, and maybe there's agents out there who've worked cases with 922R. I think the odds are high that most of the charges for 922R have always been tacked on to, you know, you're already in trouble for other things, and so they're going to get you there too. But you just never know. I mean, you simply never know. If you're involved in a car wreck you have to be whisked off to the hospital, and they're going to impound your car and hold it for you until you get out. They might decide to look over what's in the car, so that way when they return it to you, it's still got in it what it was in there. I mean, you just don't know how firearms are going to come under scrutiny. If you're involved in a home defense situation and they decide to go through your safe, I mean, you just don't know. So it's just one of those things. It's like, you know, the trolls can bitch and moan and whine and complain all they want, but the fact is that most of us want to follow the rules. Most of us want to have access to good information, and my suggestion is to watch either mine or other people's YouTube videos. In fact, I've done a lot of research this week on 922R since this was discussed in my last video, and since I've noticed that people are kind of really beating this 922R doesn't matter drum. There's hundreds of videos that people have done on YouTube talking about 922R, and a lot of these people don't sell parts, and they're saying the exact same thing about 922R that I am. I mean, go look. Before you listen to angry internet trolls, you know, go look at the videos that other people do. They're saying the same thing that I've said for 18 years. In fact, what was interesting, I sent a letter to the ATF recently, and you know, I sent letters to the ATF, I don't know, 8 or so years ago, never got a response on like 10 letters that I sent on various guns. And I'm wondering if I had included the suite number or whatever the room number is on the address, because I actually had a few customers reach out to me after the last video and share with me their 922R response letters. I will not make those public. They're not my letters to share with you, but I had them share them. They voluntarily shared them with me. In fact, I had one gentleman out there who shared with me all his 922R letters for his entire collection. There was like 12 letters for 12 different guns. And, you know, this is not just an import law. It does apply to you. I'm hoping to get a response. I sent a letter to the ATF actually through email because they're doing that now. And I frame the questions like I read on the internet from these forum guys that say, you know, oh, you don't have to worry about that. Your gun's already here. That's just an import law. That only matters to the person bringing the gun in. That's just a lie and a misunderstanding. It's one or both. Either they're grossly misunderstanding the situation or they're flat out lying to you. But that's simply not true. It applies to everybody. The terminology in the law says no person shall. It says it over and over again, no person shall. That means you. That means me. That means them. No person shall build. And there's exceptions and ways to get around it that are all outlined there. And we as consumers do not fit within any of the exceptions. So I got those letters and they completely confirm what I've said. I will share my letter if I get a response. But I greatly appreciate the guys who shared with me their information because it confirmed with me what I have. I mean, I had a letter from the ATF probably 15 or 17 years ago, and I can't find it. I've seen it in the last year here in my office, and I set it aside probably in a spot so I would not forget it, and now I've forgotten it. So I can't find my letter, but you know, I just want people to get good information. If I was understanding it incorrectly, then I'd be the first one to say it, and I would not teach it incorrectly. But this is you know, this has been around for a long time, folks. So you can either trust me or the other people that do videos on YouTube who have their face on the screen, who have their name on their videos, or you can trust nameless internet guys who are clearly angry and mad that they have to follow the law or that anybody wants to follow the law, and they're spewing their advice to you. You can choose who to follow. I mean, I've been on here I've been doing videos. I think I did my first videos in 2013. So I've been doing videos for over 11 years with 922R discussions, and it's only been recently, it's kind of weird that it's only been recently, last year or two, where all of a sudden there's these 922R guys that are just angrier than hell, and anybody who brings up 922R and shows any interest in understanding it or following it, they just get slammed. Those aren't helpful people, folks. I mean, if that's where you're getting your advice, that's, at least as far as this law goes, they're not being helpful to you. They're just making it worse for you, actually. So, you know, be wary where you get your information in regards to any gun laws. Anyway, folks, I've already talked long enough on this one, but you know, there's always pressure on the inventory. I'm always making more stuff. You know, boy, we're in a good position, a much better position than we were in a few days ago. It's just so glorious that we pulled off this amazing victory. Congratulations to President Trump and all the people out there who helped him get over the finish line. Elon Musk and Joe Rogan and Charlie Kirk, and I mean the list is endless. Vivek, I mean there's just so many people that really worked their butts off to help get Trump this amazing win, and it's just glorious. So anyway, thanks folks for watching. Last video I worked hard to edit it and I ended up uploading the raw, but that's never happened before. I spent like 2 hours editing that video and then I ended up editing the raw, or setting up the raw one. But anyway folks, appreciate you all always tuning in, all the kind words, and I will see you in the next video. Take care and have a great weekend.